Chapter 8. The Attainment of Self-Realisation. Then said Mahamati to the Blessed One, "Pray tell us more as to what constitutes the state of self-realization." The Blessed One replied, "In the life of an earnest disciple there are two aspects that are to be distinguished, namely the state of attachment to the self-natures arising from discrimination of himself and his field of consciousness to which he is related, and second, the excellent and exalted state of self-realization of noble wisdom. The state of attachment to the discriminations of the self-natures of things, ideas and selfhood is accompanied by emotions of pleasure or aversion according to experience or as laid down in books of logic. Conforming himself to the egolessness of things and holding back wrong views as to his own egoness, he should abandon these thoughts and hold himself firmly to the continuously ascending journey of the stages. The exalted state of self-realization as it relates to an earnest disciple is a state of mental concentration in which he seeks to identify himself with noble wisdom. In that effort he must seek to annihilate all vagrant thoughts and notions belonging to the externality of things, and all ideas of individuality and generality of suffering and impermanence, and cultivate the noblest ideas of egolessness and emptiness and imagelessness. Thus will he attain a realization of truth that is free from passion and is ever serene. When this active effort at mental concentration is successful, it is followed by a more passive, receptive state of samadhi in which the earnest disciple will enter into the blissful abode of noble wisdom, and it experience its consummations in the transformations of samapati. This is an earnest disciple's first experience of the exalted state of realization, but as yet there is no discarding of habit energy nor escaping from the transformation of death. Having attained this exalted and blissful state of realization as far as it can be attained by disciples, the bodhisattva must not give himself up to the enjoyment of its bliss, for that would mean cessation, but should think compassionately of other beings and keep ever fresh his original vows. He should never let himself rest and nor exert himself on the bliss of the samadhis. But Mahamati, as earnest disciples go on, trying to advance on the path that leads to full realization, there is one danger against which they must be on their guard. Disciples may not appreciate that the mind system, because of its accumulated habit energy, goes on functioning more or less unconsciously as long as they live. They may sometimes think that they can expedite the attainment of their goal of tranquilization by entirely suppressing the activities of the mind system. This is a mistake, for even if the activities of the mind are suppressed, the mind will still go on functioning, because the seeds of habit energy will still remain in it. What they think is extinction of mind is really the non-functioning of the mind's external world to which they are no longer attached. That is, the goal of tranquilization is to be reached not by suppressing all mind activity, but by getting rid of discriminations and attachments. Then there are others who, afraid of the suffering incident to the discriminations of life and death, unwisely seek nirvana. They have come to see that all things subject to discrimination have no reality, and so imagine that nirvana must consist in the annihilation of the senses and their fields of sensation. They do not appreciate that birth and death and nirvana are not separate one from the other. They do not know that nirvana is universal mind in its purity. Therefore, these stupid ones who cling to the notion that nirvana is a world by itself that is outside what is seen by the mind, ignoring all the teachings of the Tathagatas concerning the external world, go on rolling themselves along the wheel of birth and death, but when they experience the turning about in their deepest consciousness which will bring with it the perfect self-realization of noble wisdom, then they will understand. The true functioning of the mind is very subtle and difficult to be understood by young disciples. Even masters with all their powers of right knowledge and samadhis often find it baffling. It is only the Tathagatas and the Bodhisattvas who are firmly established on the seventh stage who can fully understand its workings. Those earnest disciples and masters who wish to fully understand all the aspects of the different stages of bodhisattvahood by the aid of their right knowledge must do so by becoming thoroughly convinced that objects of discrimination are only seen to be so by the mind, and thus by keeping themselves away from all discriminations and false reasonings which are also of the mind itself, by ever seeking to see things truly, and by planting roots of goodness and Buddha lands that know no limits made by differentiations. To do all this, the Bodhisattva should keep himself away from all turmoil, social excitements, and sleepiness. Let him keep away from the treatises and writings of worldly philosophers, and from the ritual and ceremonies of professional priestcraft. Let him retire to a secluded place in the forest and devote himself to the practice of the various spiritual disciplines, because it is only by so doing that he will become capable of attaining in this world of multiplicities a true insight into the workings of universal mind and its essence. Surrounded by his good friends, the Buddhas, earnest disciples will become capable of understanding the significance of the mind system and its place as a mediating agent between the external world and universal mind, and he will become capable of crossing the ocean of birth and death, which rises from ignorance, desire, and deed. Having gained a thorough understanding of the mind system, the three self-natures, the twofold egolessness, and established himself in the measure of self-realization that goes with that attainment, all of which may be gained by his right knowledge, the way will be clear for the Bodhisattva's further advance along the stages of bodhisattvahood. The disciple should then abandon the understanding of mind which he has gained by right knowledge, which in comparison with noble wisdom is like a lame donkey in entering on the 8th stage of bodhisattvahood. He should then discipline himself in noble wisdom according to its three aspects. These aspects are first, imagelessness, which comes forth when all things belonging to discipleship, mastership, and philosophy are thoroughly mastered. Second, the power added by all the Buddhas by reason of their original vows, including the identification of their lives and the sharing of their merit with all sentient lives. Third, the perfect self-realization that thus far has only been realized in a measure, as the Bodhisattva succeeds in detaching himself from viewing all things, including his own imagined egoness, in their phenomenality, and realizes the states of samadhi and samapati, whereby he surveys the world as a vision and a dream. And being sustained by all the Buddhas, he will be able to pass on to the full attainment of the Tathagata stage, which is noble wisdom itself. This is the triplicity of the noble life, and being furnished with this triplicity, the perfect self-realization of noble wisdom has been attained. Then Mahamati asked the Blessed One, saying, "Blessed One, is the purification of the evil outflowings of the mind which come from clinging to the notions of an objective world and an empirical soul gradual or instantaneous?" The Blessed One replied, "There are three characteristic outflows of the mind, namely, the evil outflowings that rise from thirst, grasping, and attachment, the evil outflowings that arise from the illusions of the mind and the infatuations of egoism, and the good non-outflowings that arise from noble wisdom. The evil outflowings that take place from recognizing an external world, which in truth is only a manifestation of mind, and from becoming attached to it, are gradually purified and not instantaneously good behavior, can only come by the path of restraint and effort. It is like a potter making pots that is done gradually and with attention and effort. It is like the mastery of comedy, dancing, singing, lute playing, writing, and any other art. It must be acquired gradually and laboriously. Its reward will be a clearing insight into the emptiness and transiency of all things. The evil outflowings that arise from the illusions of the mind and the infatuations of egoism concern the mental life more directly and are such things as fear, anger, hatred, and pride. These are purified by study and meditation, and that too must be attained gradually and not instantaneously. It is like the amber fruit that ripens slowly. It is like grass, shrubs, herbs, and trees that grow up from the earth gradually. Each must follow the path of study and meditation by himself gradually and with effort. But because of the original vows of the Bodhisattvas and all the Tathagatas who have devoted their merits and identified their lives with all animate life, that all may be emancipated, they are not without aid and encouragement. But even with the aid of the Tathagatas, the purification of the evil outflowings of the mind are at best slow and gradual, requiring both zeal and patience. Its reward is the gradual understanding of the twofold egolessness and its patient acceptance, and the feet well set on the stages of bodhisattvahood. But the good non-outflowings that come with self-realization of noble wisdom is a purification that comes instantaneously by the grace of the Tathagatams. It is like a mirror reflecting all forms and images instantaneously and without discrimination. It is like the sun or the moon revealing all forms instantaneously and illuminating them dispassionately with its light. In the same way, the Tathagatas lead earnest disciples to a state of imagelessness. All the accumulations of habit, energy, and karma that had been collecting since beginningless time, because of attachment to erroneous views which had been entertained regarding an ego soul and its external world, were cleared away, revealing instantaneously the realm of transcendental intelligence that belongs to Buddhahood. Just as universal mind defiled by accumulations of habit, energy, and karma reveals multiplicities of ego souls and their external worlds of false imagination, so universal mind, cleared of its defilements through the gradual purifications of the evil outflowings that come by effort, study, and meditation, and by the gradual self-realization of noble wisdom, at the long last, like the Dharma, the Buddha shining forth spontaneously with the rays that issue from its pure self-nature shines forth instantaneously, while the mentality of all bodhisattvas is matured instantaneously, defined themselves in the palatial abodes of the egoness, the heavens themselves, spontaneously radiating in various treasures of its spiritual abundance.
Transcend